Welcome back to Tech Gumbo here on Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Baton Rouge's local talk and information leader. Tech Gumbo is brought to you by Gulf South Technology Solutions. You can reach us
at 225-216-2169
or on the web
at gulfsouthtech.com.
At Gulf South Tech, we're here for all your business, computer, network, and IT needs. At Gulf South Tech, we give you the
right solution, right response, right now.
I'm Haggai Davis, along with James Moak, and we have with us online Matt Long, who's a software engineer from Microsoft, who's involved in just one of the coolest projects I've ever heard about. And so we're going to start back up on the second segment here, Matt. So you were telling us about Pegasus 2, how it's going to spend about 2 hours in total flight and everything. Tell us some of the really cool benefits of what's going on with this whole project and why.
Well, the thing that we're trying to do is really kind of break down these barriers between people and technology in a very significant way. So these very tiny things that we have around us, the cruise control system in your car, the thermostat in your house, and many other things that are around us that have been built, they're not really that powerful. They're capable of doing pretty amazing things, but we could add so much more intelligence to them, but they don't have really the capability to do that from a technology standpoint. So with what we're working on, we can take something that's innately not very intelligent and move its brain into the cloud. And because of these real-time communications that can take place, we can take dumb things and make them highly intelligent. And with that kind of integrated vision of between people and physical things and digital things, you can kind of imagine a kind of a new world that would take place where you could just literally walk into a room and without doing anything, the room could just customize itself to you.
Oh, that's kind of fascinating.
Because of all that power of intelligence that can exist in the cloud.
So one of the, I know you and I, we were talking yesterday about this, and you had a really wonderful analogy about Jacques Cousteau and how this whole Pegasus mission is kind of playing together. Tell me about that.
Yes, so I think that's something that kind of we stumbled on. What I call it the Cousteau meme. And what Cousteau did that we never thought about was when Jacques Cousteau was doing his television specials, when you and I were young, we would stay up at night and watch the Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau, I think is what it was called. And what was happening was a very interesting kind of a paradox, right? We would watch it. We'd be enthralled with it. We remember Falco and the shark cage, but we don't remember any researcher or any of the research they were actually doing on board the Calypso, and they always did that. And that research that they did actually changed our environment today because of the way that we can manage the fisheries and how we do environmental research and things like that in the oceans. So we all benefited from the research that was done by Cousteau. But that research would have never been done unless we actually watched the television program, because that's what funded it. So in a strange way, we all became participants in our own success. And we looked at the Pegasus mission kind of the same way, kind of after the fact that we realized we were doing the same thing that Cousteau did, was that we go out and we take some chances and we do things that hadn't been done before. And what really makes it keep going is the fact that people can participate in it. And, of course, in the digital age now, participation means, with your phone or on a website or something like that, not necessarily television. But it's really the same thing that Cousteau was doing. It's just kind of modernized in that way. So the participation in it helps us do the research, very much so. And hopefully what we can learn, we can translate that into ways that help other people in the future. So you can kind of be a participant in your own success just by watching the mission.
Man, that's really, really good stuff, Matt. So what were some of the challenges you guys ran into with this?
Well, the first time we did it, we got a lesson from Adler Planetarium in Chicago, because they've flown about 75 missions. And one of the big challenges is there's a million things to do at one time. And you get to multitasking, you enter these kind of T3 moments that the people in Antarctica talk about, where they just get so stressed out they can't remember anything. But one of the big challenges was just coordinating the activities, logistics. It takes us anywhere from 5 to 7 days to just coordinate the logistics for a launch. We take like 350 pounds of equipment to the field to put an 8-pound box in the air.
Now tell everybody where you launch from.
Yeah, so and I would say this: if somebody wanted to go launch a high altitude balloon and photograph something with it, it wouldn't be nearly as sophisticated or nearly as difficult as what we're doing, and they certainly could do that, and I would encourage it greatly. But for what we do, it takes a relatively large flight crew just to kind of coordinate the activities, and for people doing science, don't necessarily want to go do that.
So you guys are launching up in Illinois? Is that what I understand?
You're going to launch out of Kerner Aviation, which is it's an ancient airfield. It's a grass airfield in Kankakee, Illinois.
Okay.
The original founder's pilot's license is in the office, and it's signed by Orville Wright.
Nice.
That's been around a little while.
And they have a little hangar there, and Adler Planetarium launched it from there, and that's kind of why we chose it, because it's like the perfect place to launch a balloon from. And you travel through the cornfields of Illinois, which doesn't have trees, so you don't have a problem of landing. In Seattle, you would land 150 feet up in a fir tree.
Right.
So, so you don't have that problem until the corn gets tall, and then you really don't want to fly down there because you'll end up in a cornfield, right? But that's some of the things that we've done, and we've gotten a little bit more sophisticated because we added satellite communications to the craft, so that our backup to the backup system is now SAT communications, so that if we happen to lose contact with it, we can get it from the Iridium satellites orbiting the Earth and tell us where the craft is.
So you put a little work into this project. This isn't something you did over the weekend.
No, this is.
You lost a few.
Mark Nichols is our payload builder, and he's spent an enormous amount of time on this. And one of the cool features that you can sign up for on the website, which we really like, is
give us all your information how to
Craft makes some flight milestones. It actually sends you text messages.
So that's cool. So everybody's listening who wants to find out more about it, how do they find out more about the Pegasus mission, and where can they go?
They can go to www.pegasusmission.io. That's the website where we broadcast off of, and the blog is pegasusmission.com.
And on Facebook?
Facebook, Black Pegasus Mission.
That's great. That's. I mean, I'm so fascinated. And what's really cool is that you can take all of the research you guys are doing using the Azure cloud and kind of relay to our listener who might be driving across town thinking, well, that doesn't mean anything to me. Yes, it does, because you can take your business and put it into the cloud, put it into that Azure platform, and you can do so many different things using Azure. So I think it's awesome what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and I think that what we talked about before, where you use the power of the cloud to make to make things very intelligent, and we can run these missions and do that, and then we can just turn it all off if we want to, right? And the cloud becomes the kind of the source that allows us to get to literally everybody in the world. And I will tell you the truth, I tested the whole thing from France. It works amazingly well.
Well, and this might very well be one of those Azure Cloud commercials. I mean, there's a lot of them out. They've got the Weather Channel and our AccuWeather, rather. I think it uses Azure and the World Soccer teams and all that kind of stuff. And this, I think, is another piece that could be used out there to show the power of cloud computing. That it's not just about big data and analytics, but something that that we can use and to better society, and then businesses large and small can benefit from it.
We're learning a whole lot, and the cloud is evolving, and I think you're going to see more and more interesting things that kind of evolve from the whole paradigm, and this just happens to be one manifestation of it, and I got some more in store for you down the road.
That's just so awesome, Matt. We would like to hear back from you. You know, after the whole thing does get launched up, and and you've got some data collected and everything. Love to have you come back on the program and kind of fill us in. Tell us everything that happened.
Well, thank you very much. I'd love to come back again. It was a pleasure doing the show today, and I'll promise you this: you invite me back, we'll be back.
Oh, that sounds
Good.
great, Matt. Matt Long with Microsoft. Very much appreciate you hanging out with us this afternoon here on Tech Gumbo. This has been Tech Gumbo, brought to you by Gulf South Technology Solutions. For all your business, computer, network, and IT needs, it's Gulf South Technology Solutions for the right solution,
Right response?
right now. This has been Haggai Davis and James Moak. You've been listening to Tech Gumbo on Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Baton Rouge's local talk and information leader.